This video is one of several early warning indicator system resources on the websites of the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. In this video, we'll show how educators can use EWIS resources and strategies in a cycle of inquiry or causal analysis to explore underlying causes of student risk. Using the 6 steps of the early warning implementation cycle, teams of educators can use EWIS reports to identify who is at academic risk at the beginning of the school year. Together, they can review data, understand underlying causes of risk, implement programming, and make adjustments during the school year, and reflect on progress at the end of the year. Step 3 of this cycle is about uncovering the reason or reasons why students are at risk of not meeting academic milestones, and builds on the review of early warning data in the previous step. Results from Step 3 can inform the next step. In Step 4, Take Action, interventions, supports, or other changes are identified or developed that align with the student's strengths and needs. Here's a closer look at how this works. EWIS reports identify the students who are at risk of missing an important academic milestone if no additional supports are provided. Educators review the reports to understand how many students are at risk or who they are, and to examine patterns of risk. EWIS risk levels and monitoring flags, such as attendance, behavior, and course performance, are merely signs or symptoms of deeper and likely more complex issues related to academic achievement. This step encourages the team to explore potential underlying causes for individual students, groups of students, the school, and the district. This can incorporate state data, local data, context, and professional judgment. After examining EWIS data, counselors in one regional high school collaborated to investigate their students' attendance patterns.
We did look at the EWIS risk data and everything else that we could find in Edwin, and then started with a survey. We actually asked them questions about their feelings about school, how they feel that they're treated by their teachers, their peers, how many hours of sleep they have a night, if they're late, can they get a ride to school, and really tried to look for those reasons before we started that sort of cycle of trying to intervene. The 2 big issues that came up were sleep and transportation. So for some of those students, if they slept late, missed the bus, they didn't have a ride to school. So we kind of looked at all of those things and just tried to put into place whatever we could. For some it was more parent contact, so sometimes the increased parent involvement helped. For other students, it was putting them in a specialized homeroom where they would have somebody to meet with every morning. I actually had one kid, I was working with him, and we looked at the public bus schedule. Where's the bus stop closest to your house? How do you transfer? So it really was very individual based on the student.
Educators and counselors may draw on multiple sources of data in other contexts to build their understanding of causes of risk. This can include surveys that capture student voice. For example, Vocal or other school climate surveys. Vocal is an annual survey sponsored by the department where participating students share their views about school climate and learning. Educators may also wish to examine MCAS details in Edwin or interim assessment data to understand and address any learning gaps. In another high school, educators looked at data for 9th graders who were not on track to pass their 9th grade courses. They then dug further into students' math scores, incorporating local math assessment results.
We've done a lot of research that those students who do not pass Algebra 1 are those 14.7 times more likely not to graduate within 4 years. That's a very critical course. We took a look at the standards that in grade 8 are essential for students to have a knowledge of to be successful in Algebra 1. 3 years worth of research data authenticated the results. Curricular changes have been made in 8th grade math at the middle school. I'm now sharing with grade 9 teachers the grade 8 data from Edwin, where the targeted standards for math and science.
Exploring underlying causes may take practice. Thoughtful facilitation with targeted strategies and a diverse, well-informed team can help. Here are some approaches to try or adapt to suit your context. Start with a focused brainstorm to identify possible or likely causes, then categorize them. Categories could include those listed here. Use a worksheet or tool to capture thoughts. Next, narrow the options. Set aside explanations not within the team's control. Rather than dismiss them outright, use them to build context or hand them off to an appropriate other team or leader. Then quality check those remaining. Do they fit logically with the data? Are explanations specific and plausible? Is language clear? Deepen your understanding using 5 whys, a fault tree, or another approach. With 5 whys, ask why. For that answer, then ask, and why is that? Do this several times to peel back layers of complexity. Once at the root cause, see that causes hold up to scrutiny. Do this by verifying them with data, using a range of sources, including student voice. This thorough treatment of exploring root causes may feel like overkill. Teams who have taken this approach finds it sharpens their understanding of complex issues, tests their thinking, uncovers assumptions, and more. Root causes are the deepest underlying causes of performance challenges. When considering causes, one strategy is to think expansively, considering all the possible causes that are within our control and that relate to adult behaviors, rather than considering characteristics related to students or focusing on what is outside of our control. Refer to the Early Warning Implementation Cycle tutorial for other resources. With one or a few root causes identified, educators can continue to step 4, take action. Adjust interventions, develop new supports, or consider system-wide changes to help address the causes identified in step 3. Monitor these over time and adjust where appropriate. Visit the EWIS website to learn more about DESE's Early Warning Indicator System.